start. One is, I won't keep you till this afternoon late because I want to see a basketball game. War Eagle, all right. So I promise you that. They're very stringent about the people they get to do this. One is they need to be able to walk, and the other one is they need to be able to talk. And they prefer you be real old where you have some memories of Huntsville. So that's it. Now another thing I would say, and then I'll shut up about all myself. I know a lot of you guys are standing here and you heard the name Jan Williams, you know, and you thought, oh, good-looking girl. Oh, all right. Well, I hate to disappoint you, but I was raised Jan. You know, it's kind of like a boy named Sue. You know that song?
Johnny.
Oh goodness. So anyway, we're glad to have you, and the weather's great. What we're going to be doing is we will be going up this street, and we'll try to stay on the right-hand side. And this, you know, sometimes I and all of us, I think, get to thinking that Huntsville is just the greatest city in the world, and certainly in Alabama and all that. And it is. It really is. But I hope when you get through with this, you will see that this stuff has been building up for 200 years. And of course this year we celebrate our 200. But you will see and hear names of, you know, what people did and things like that. And all of them were working to build Huntsville. Okay, so let's start going up this way, and we'll go one block. And let me get up here toward the front, and then I'll know when. We're going to stop at this house right here. So let's just all together right here.
Go ahead, Chris. Smile again. There you go. Yeah, that's all right. The Wheat House. I'm just waiting for everybody to get over here.
Okay, how does this sound back that way? Nope.
Take care.
All right, now. Any better? Okay, all right, good. I'll leave this. Okay, I want to start here, and I want to start by telling you you know that thing, go west, young man. Okay, we're west. Whatever. So they came here with their balance, fertile land, very fertile land. They found the river, the Tennessee River. They came coastal here. And it had a lot of the things that people needed. So that's kind of sort of how we got there. Okay, and then once they got here, then we were talking about cotton. And so what they do, start building cotton mills. So that was some of that stuff that went on that, Huntsville was always moving forward. So now let me step back a little bit. Hey Beth, how are you?
Great job.
This is the Wheaton house. This lady right here, and Beth and I have known each other for a while. She is the director of the Wheaton house. And this is a typical federal style house. Now, it's just kind of straight up, okay? No sound. Okay. She just wanted to say hello. Now, Beth, tell us this, that you can get tours through here.
Right. The tours are 10:30 to 11:45. They're guided tours. Wednesday through Saturday are by appointment. I'm the only staff person, so I wear every hat. So usually in the afternoons, I'm meeting with brides for weddings. Like today, I will be doing that. And we have weddings almost every weekend starting in the spring. But you can email us. That's the best way to get in touch. It is a guided tour. We talk about Huntsville history, architecture, and the Wheaton family, so I'd love to have you. I have left the bathroom open for y'all. It will be open until I leave this afternoon, so if you need to come by, it's a separate building. Go through the back gate. We have one bathroom that's unisex, so just make sure you knock.
Okay, thank you,
Enjoy.
Beth. Okay.
I left the bathroom open for you if you want to use it. Make sure you knock. We have one bathroom, so make sure you knock before you go in.
All right, so this is your federal architecture and so on, and you're going to hear a lot of that as we go through, okay? So it's kind of, the windows are kind of federal, and the style of the house is just straight up, and you'll learn a lot about that as we go through. The Wheaton house was built in 1819, and this family lived in it, and then the Wheatons came here. And just to make a long story short, Howard Wheaton, what do you think? Man? Yeah? Not. Okay. This is Maria Howard Wheaton. And what it was is she, back then, she was an artist, and people didn't pay much attention to female artists, Anyway, that's the way it was. So she just chose the Howard name, and it was probably like her daddy's name or something, and that's how she went with the name Howard Wheaton. Now, I have got a lot of stuff on it, but just basically, the interesting thing is, this young girl, and the Wheaton family actually lived here until the 50s, 1950s. I don't think she lived all that long. But that, she did some unusual drawings, paintings, and so on. And what it was, like I say, get these, if you ever come in here or something. But basically, what it is she was so blind that she could not see. She had to put the paper that she was drawing on, or little board or something, up this close to her. And then she had to use a pen that was made out of 3 horse hairs and on a little bitty stick. And that's what she painted with. Now, if you went in there, you would see some tremendous paintings. Most of it, primarily, is of the African Americans. Those were the slaves show you three interesting things around here, and then we'll be headed that way. First of all, is the First Presbyterian Church. That was the first official Presbyterian church in the state of Alabama. And if you look, there were a couple of things. One is, up there on the top of that little tower, there was a, spire? Is that what you call it? The pointy thing, you know? And then right below it, where you see those little wooden things, that was the bell. So, these Presbyterians, you know, and I'm one of them, but anyway, I'll give you an expression in a little bit, but anyway, they started here. The spire broke at a windstorm and fell off, and they never replaced it. The bell cracked, and they took it out and put it down, and they used that during the Civil War for, you know, ammunition and so on, the metal of that. So that's what happened to that. And there was some, it said that it humbled the boastful congregation. I guess that's the way we Presbyterians are. So anyway, a little bit about that. But, you know, that is one of the things first in the state of Alabama. All right, now, if you look this way, let me see which one I'm talking about now. All right, and this house over here, I'm looking at the names. This was built by an architect, George Steele. Now, I'll tell you more about him later, because you will hear his name quite a bit. All right? He designed it for Mr. Cox, and this house is often called the Spite House. And I'll show you why later, but just kind of get you oriented. This, too, is a Federal type of house. The little porch columns and so on, they've probably been added on. But this house has 14-foot ceilings on the first floor. Let me make sure. And 16-foot ceilings on the second floor. So this house is a lot taller than some of your normal houses like this. And it's called the Spite House because a little bit later we will be right up behind this house so you can see it. And that was where Leroy Pope, the biggest founder type person in Huntsville, he lived back up there. And he had built his house earlier than this house was built. And so they built this one to spite him where he couldn't see the city of Huntsville. So we got all sorts here. The thing is that the part of Huntsville we're talking about now, and you gotta remember this. Like, you know, I told you there's 5 points, and there's all sorts of things. But what we're talking about now, and you'll see today, is actually right here. I mean, it's just, you know, it goes over to. I think it goes over to Home Street over there. We won't be going down that way. But the really older houses are from here, and they go south to down to Low Street, I think. So that's what we'll be looking at now. So it's kind of a limited area. But you're going to see William Street, it's no kin to me, and then Adam Street going down that way. But that's what we will be looking at today, okay? So it's and some of the houses I'm not going to mention much because they were built maybe in the early 1900s and so on. Okay, is everything okay with that? Now look, one more thing here. This is another house.
That one got that, they call it the hay house. That one got that Huh.
Okay, this house too is, this was built by Peter Perkins, and it's one of the Huntsville's, oldest structures. It was built in 1815, and that's before it became a city. Here too, you'll see the federal type of structure. This Mr. Perkins was appointed to the Mississippi Territory Legislature in 1809 as one of the commissioners who chose Huntsville as the county seat of Madison County. I'm just kind of reading here. The original federal-style house consisted of an office and 2 rooms, one over the other, and connected by a small corner interior stairways. And then what happened here is that they added on to it. You can see some of the addition over there. And then again, a porch. The porch was added. And then there were some other parts of it here. I don't know how big it is now. But anyway, that's part of that. And he didn't build his real high, though. You can kind of see the difference there a little bit. Okay, we're going to move right down here to be. Okay, this was the first Masonic temple built in the state of Alabama, and this is not actually it. It was actually right over there in that blank space right there. I think it burned down. But when they replaced it, they just, that wall over there is a part of the old building. I know when I was a young boy, I was in the Malays here, and we're talking about this being the Masonic temple. A lot of you may be Masons, and it said that many of the prominent Huntsvillians were Mason. John Hunt was one. He was a master Mason. And Thomas Farron, and I think somebody asked me about him earlier, so he was a member here. He was the senior warden. The first building was built in 1824, and then the last one was in 1917. So that's that building. All right, now, let me just ask you to look right over this way, and what we're going to be doing is walking and turning left right there and going up, and we're going to go to the Leroy Pope home. But I will show you in Williams here. Let's talk about that house back there. This was built for Captain and Mrs. Francis Maston. He served as an aide in General Andrew Jackson during the Creek and Indian War. And let's see, her father was chief surgeon in Count Rockaboma's, I don't know what that is, fleet. And that's kind of just a brief of that. It says the Italianate features were added in 1850, and that's some of that stuff on the top. And that house actually expands all the way down on the right. You can't see about where it was. I remember when I was a kid that we would go down to that, what used to be a garage. I think it's part of the house now. And there was a woman that lived there, Helen Mason, and she was an artist. And she was a friend of my mother, so I would go down there and sometimes, and I could see all the stuff she was painting, and she did little statue things and so on like that. Then that stuff on the top there, that was added at a later time. All right.
While we're stopped, I'd like to make an announcement for myself back on here. All right, how are we doing so far? Everybody hearing pretty well? I think Dan's doing a fantastic job. I've been able to hear from most of the places I've been standing, so great job, Dan. Yay! Anybody hear clap? Y'all are awesome. At the Visitor Center, we do have a rack card that has a barcode on it. You can scan and that does cover all of our historic districts. And Old Town, Twickenham is the oldest district, and it's kind of neat as he's pointing out these things that have been around a long time. Honestly, we have a well-preserved downtown where a lot of it, like in front of the Wheaton House with the church and the house up the hill, I mean, if you imagine dirt roads and horses instead of cars and pavement, it's very much like it was back at that time, so close to the downtown square. But I do want to let y'all know we have those brochures at the visitor center, and y'all do, I think somebody right before we started asked about bicentennial activities and getting involved with those things. Y'all do, after this is over, there's the opportunity to ask additional questions of myself, Jan, and so forth. So y'all do, and the visitor center is open all but 5 days of the year. We only close on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Easter, Thanksgiving, and New Year's Day. So we are always here and available to assist y'all. So y'all keep us in mind. Thank you.
All right. This house over here, I don't know that much about. The only thing I remember as a child, I was Dr. McKissick's house. He was one of our doctors. So that was that, and that is a style there. I think it's something Italian style or something. And that's about all I know about that. All right, let's go up this way. Stay on the left.
And different people who live in Twickenham open their home for tours. Now, we have people driving from Nashville and Birmingham, or we calling and asking in August. Y'all know what homes are on the tour yet? So there's Christmas tour, which is always the second Saturday in December. And they put luminaries all around the neighborhood, and sometimes there's music in some of the houses. So we really try to create a beautiful ambiance in the street. But one year, the Lilly house was on tour. If y'all seen the beautiful home down the balcony at the corner of Williams Avenue here and Franklin Street, that was open on years that they have to go through. And so there's a lot of opportunities to follow that every year and kind of see who's open, kind of watch for the houses you're interested in going in, and also the safety goes to support the Wheaton House, which is managed by Twickenham Historic Preservation. And that Wheaton House, by the way, is furnished. Interior is furnished. So if y'all do not know, that is an amazing tour for many generations. That's down.
Okay, everybody here okay? All right, just to tell you a little bit about that, it's the oldest mansion in the state of Alabama. It was built for Leroy Cole, who I've talked about. He chose this site because it's on the highest hill overlooking the growing community, so the site was right on target about that. He named the house Popular Grove, and that was from his British background. And this is where it gets interesting to me. The materials of its construction were raw Tennessee on flatboats from Widow's Landing and transported to the site by wagon. And there's a lot of things that were bought. I mean, some things out like bought in New York, all like that, brought down here by boat, and hauled in, and it's kind of cool. Let's say transported by wagons. And then he hosted a public dinner on the lawn of General Andrew Jackson, or General Andrew Jackson and his company, who were passing through on their return from the Battle of Horseshoe Bend. Architect George Steele, he was the one that given the credit for all the structure and so on. Okay, it says the liberal ornament on the classical revival portico blends so well with the rest of the house. That's the thing on the top. I've actually been up on the top of that. But anyway, that's I think all about that. They were talking about Andrew Jackson passing through the Battle of Horseshoe Bend, and that, and I think that was one that had to do with the Creek Indians, and I think that's where we got that expression that if the Lord's willing and the creeks don't rise. I think that really comes from here back these days. Okay, now we're going to turn Alabama and maybe in the whole southeast. And they had a big thing up there, you know, that held all the water, and then you know.
Excuse me,
You're fine, ma'am.
That's where the water system started, and the water actually ran through, and you may have seen some little pieces of this, but cedar logs, and they hollowed out and then put together, you know, like somehow or another glued together. And that went in a lot of Huntsville. But like I say now, you're looking at Huntsville right here. Not over by way over there, right here. So this is where the water system was.
I don't know what I would call it. With some other routes. Yeah, when I was in nursing home, I worked for a number of years. It's sad. We're allowed to do so a lot. I mean, I got a full day of activities planned.
1893.
Yeah. Can't be a day like today, the first nice day of yours. Finally turning. Gotta be Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what's going on. And
Okay, everybody hear me okay? Ready? Okay, all right. This was built in 1835, and it's called a small brick raised cottage. Now I'll show you one other of those as we go through. We got one other house that's a raised cottage. And I've been in them, and what it is there's a floor under this. I know you say, well, the basement, but not that. This is where, like, the dining room was. You know, it would be on the bottom floor, and you had the kitchen down there. And some of them have been remodeled, you know, they put bedrooms down there, everything. But that's a raised cottage is there.
Could you say that again? We can't hear back here.
Yes, this is called a raised cottage. And that's the description of this type of architecture. And it's because it has a floor under that one. It's not like completely a basement under it, but just about, you know, there's windows that you can see out of around that house. So that's what that is. You look around at some that I'm not mentioning. You like those two over there. Those are the bungalow type of houses. And I'm going that, but those are much later time frame those, and that's the year. Let me tell you about this one right here, 518. The original house, a two-story brick Federal. I know you've heard that so many times. It was built in 1835, and it was enlarged or remodeled and redecorated by a cotton merchant from New Orleans that owned it. And you can see that, well, anyway, but I think what they did, some of these houses are called half houses, and you'll see that more over on Franklin. That's not what this is. But here again, like this porch was added. And I think, no, it's not this one, there's another one. I'll show you about the windows and so on. All right. House, isn't it? Sure it is. Let me tell you about it. No, a little bit of a story to it, and it's really interesting. Okay, this is called the Sideways House. According to local legend, cotton merchant William McDowell went to Europe for 2 years. This is in 1849. Went to Europe for 2 years. The overseer had misread the plans and that the home faced the rear of McClung Avenue instead of Adams. So what they did is they built it. What you're looking at there is the back porch. And it faces over on McClung. And you know what, we went by McClung just back there a little ways. So that was real interesting when he came home to that. The columns have been put up since then to make it look better. And I guess that's one of those things that historic commission them on. I guess we let him do that, you know. Feel sorry for that. Anyway, so that's that, and here's let's see, it features 3 crystal chandeliers from Venice and marble mantles from Italy. It was chosen as headquarters for General O.M. Mitchell when his Union forces occupied Huntsville in 1862. In 1864, it was later used as Union headquarters. There were a lot of these homes during the Civil War that were used for those Yankee headquarters. So you would hear that a good bit if you walk through here. All right, that's pretty much that, and this one down here, let's walk down next. We'll be turning right at that. Okay, but we just stop right in here.
I don't care what side of y'all would, just open up the road so cars can keep passing.
Okay, this one has a little more. Now you see, it's like a lot of these big houses. This is still that Federal style. The porch with the columns, that's probably been added. You can see an addition over here on this side, and I'm sure there are probably a few more additions toward the back. constructed in 1826 by newspaper editor John Boardman. It's been expanded and so on. Okay, the mansion is linked. Can you hear me now? Okay, the mansion is linked to a Jersey cow owned by the homeowner Samuel Moore. Okay, now this is in the 1892. He took his cow, Lilly Flagg, to the 1892 World's Fair, where she was named the world's butterfat producer. How about that now? Now then, he threw a ball in honor of the cow and painted the house butterfat yellow for the occasion. For the occasion. Some 1,500 guests were invited to the gala. The honoree, Lilly Flagg, stood on a platform on the patio, right out there. Moore named a rail switch on his plantation for the cow, and you now hear the thing about Lilly Flagg. You'll hear it down south, right? This is another thing that who had it on it, maybe someone like Milton Cummings and his family lived here at one point, and you know he was one of the Cummings research part and so on. I'm not just trying to throw names around. You know, I just want you to get the feel that all of these people were doing, and their aim was to make Huntsville a great place to live. Okay, let me touch base about this house. That's the Bonds live there. We built the house around 1825. And it stayed in the family for nearly a century. And that's about it. Here again, the porches were added. This one over here, George Steele, the architect I told you about, designed both the first part of this house, the south 3 bays, which are back in there, you can hardly see, erected in 1825 in Federal style, and the porch and 2 northern bays added in 1853 and 55. It was the birthplace of John Greenway, a leading military figure who served under Theodore Roosevelt in the Spanish-American War, Brigadier General of World War I. Okay, and you can see, if you look on that porch and you look right up on the right side, you can see that line going straight up, you know, with the brick. And just believe it or not, that is the way we, and the Historic Preservation Commission, we like to, when there's some added on, we'll let you do it in a certain way, but we want some kind of a line drawn where you can tell where the addition is, where the original was. That one, I think if you stand out and look at it, you see the left-hand windows are lower or higher than the right-hand, or they go down further or something. So we kind of missed on the windows there a little bit. Okay, we're going to walk Cruz Alley, and then we'll say a few more. We're over halfway. No applause, please.
Time for what?
Lunch.
You the one that had to work. You the one that had to go and clear your house up. Very good for your overtime.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Yes, that was where they had the little deer over the, over the,
That's a big house here. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Question
Death Road Bushes at the Reading House, and that was her community service for the nonprofit museum to help support Twickenham neighbors that support the Reading House work. That's been being redone and turned into a museum.
Okay, now I mentioned the houses that, were split between the first floor and part of the second. This is another one, just like, and you can see the windows on the bottom part of it here, I don't know if you can get close, but that's what this is. It's just like that one over there on Adams Street. Okay, let me see if we can get them up here. Gosh, I was worried about rain and being cold.
That's Huntsville weather.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, this house over here, 2-story and so on, it was built in 1857, and it's an Italianate facade and tower. The tower was added to this in 1825. Oh, that was added because it was a federal-style house. So a lot of that stuff has been added. All right, it was the home of where General John Hunt Morgan was born. Okay, and anybody know about George Morgan? Okay, I was read something on it here. But he did the Morgan Raiders. Now he was a Confederate soldier, and he took 2,500 men and took them during the war on up into Tennessee. They actually started in some little town between here and Nashville. But he put those men together, and they went up into Kentucky, Ohio, and all of that. And they were the raiders. It was kind of interesting. I gave this tour one time to some people, I don't know, just 5 or 6 people. And when I got to this, I wasn't thinking much about it, and then, boy, they thought this was the weirdest, greatest thing in the whole tour. And then when I read about it, it is. The guy took that many men, and he lasted for years up there like that, for the Confederate cause. Okay, so that's that.
We've got another vehicle coming, so if y'all will just kind of stay to this side for now and let them go on by. And Jan, at some point, did you talk about how a lot of these homes were occupied during the war, but that when they left, they didn't destroy?
Yeah, I can.
Had a couple of questions. I'm sorry. All right, we got more vehicles. So, where are you going to be talking about that?
Right.
All right, let's stay to the right side of the road, please.
Okay, now, what we have now is a series of about 4 homes we're going to move up to one at a time. I'm going to start right here with this one. Now, that's a nice looking, it's a federal style. Anything look unusual about it? We'll be turning right when she gets to the red light. Okay. It says this 2-story livable brick federal home was unusually original blue glass panes. In the early, get up here. All right, but it was believed that sunlight shining through such panes would benefit people suffering from arthritis. Now you can go home and paint your window blue and see if it works. But that's what that is. Now there was also, that porch was added, and there's another addition on the south end of it here. I can't see it, but anyway, something down here. This was Albert Erskine, and I'm not sure, there was one of the Erskine guys, and it may be him, that ended up being like the president of the Studebaker Corporation. Remember, we used to have one down at the depot that we kept. There was some kin to the Erskines, and maybe this guy. Okay, we're going to move up to the next house, and somebody's cutting grass. Okay. and they sold it at a cost of $2,000. Gee, I bet you couldn't get that for it now. Okay. And then this George Steele, the architect, Virginia, here now did a lot of this. He adopted the Greek revival style in favor at that time. So that had to do with the porch and all that. That was owned by Old King, the SCI guy, and so that was his house. Let's move up to the next house. Right here, this is one of these what's called halfway house. You can see how it's built from one side, door like it is. Let's see, this special house. This was the home of Dr. Alexander Erskine, partner of his next door neighbor, Dr. Thomas Farron, a prominent position in his own right, who helped to found Alabama's Masonic temple and so on. Here again, this Farron name, I call it Fern, but somebody called it something different today. Farron, okay. This guy, he was a doctor, and he did a lot of doctoral things and so on like that, but he also did a lot of things like that water system that I told you about. He took the Big Spring Park, where that is, got that made all the way into the Tennessee River down at something landing, whatever, Ditto's Landing. So he had a water system that went all the way down there. And when people would get these parts to these houses, that they'd ordered from New York and all that, they would bring them by the river down to there, and then they'd bring them up the river and into the houses. So that was I thought kind of an interesting thing. When oh, we let that one through. Yeah.
About how many miles is it from here to Ditto Landing?
I don't know. But from here to Ditto's Landing, 10 miles. Oh, hello?
I know where Ditto Landing is.
Yeah, something like that. But there was a lot of that stuff that was brought in from all these things. I always say it, my 5 Points tour, we talk about marble here, and marble is in their mantles and on their walls and all of that. At 5 Points, the marble is like that. It's a different marble. Literally, I always kid about that. But these places, they have marble. If you've ever been in one of them or something, you see it. They're really nice homes. Okay, he did the water thing and so on. And then he went up to the mountain, and you remember they had the hotel up there and so on, and he worked on that and got that declared one of the healthiest places in the United States. And so that was something else he did. He was a very prominent, well-known man all around Alabama, but especially around Huntsville. Okay. We got one more house, and then we're going to turn right. We've got a couple of houses, and that'll be it.
Which mountain was that?
Which was?
Which mountain? Is that Montesano?
Yeah, Montesano.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
It looks like they're building that.
Yeah, remodeling, yeah.
This is the house I was talking about earlier, was open on the Christmas tour of homes.
This is the one that I know. this is the house I always.
Yeah, they were like, oh,
It's fabulous. I can't believe he's walking by.
Bring it on around here. Bring it on around.
This is the real estate.
Down.
I went up the trail, short trail with Ryan and Cindy before. Look at those are big great girls they got right there.
Now, the most important thing here is to look at this window here. It's a stained glass window. And it was brought in from, I don't know where, but it wasn't done here. And that's the most interesting thing about that. Let me see. This is a classical revival home. And this window here depicts the scene from the Greek mythology, the story of, I don't know how to name, is it Hero and Leander? I think that's it. And it says the entire scene is on a classical Greek balcony overlooking Hellas Port and so on, and how I think he swims every day, every night to come see her and so on. So that's a little bit of that story. All right, we've got about two more houses. Then we'll be through. Over here to the left, let me point that out too. This is let's see what's it called here. A public inn. This house right here is white, and it used to be down there on Madison Street. I think actually where part of the early works building is. But that's what that was, and that thing dated back to 1818 or 1819, it says. But that's what that is, and it says the public inn accommodated travelers and a few boarders in the best manner, and so on. 1926, the land sold for the site of a service station, so then they moved it. It's been up here. All right, now the next two homes, I want you to look at. The first one that you'll see is the home that the president, president of UAA, he and his family live in. Okay,
Oh, this one wouldn't be bad either.
That's interesting, huh? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine, ma'am.
This UAA Charles is missing they sold the house over on Adams. What was it?
Okay, just leave you with a few things. This is where the UAH president resides. Stone facing, other components of this revival house was shaped in New York, shipped to Huntsville, and assembled. And the interior was decorated by a French fresco artist. So some of these people really put a lot into what they were doing. Okay? All right, the next house over there, that's Thomas Bibb House. He was the second governor of Alabama. Purchased this lot in a federal style house that was on it. Anyway, he purchased it in 1821. And then it talks about they built something that one right there in front of it, and it's still some of the original old house is left in behind there. That's a house that was recently sold. And anyway, you see another house going up here that's the one that was approved by the historic commission.
I'm sorry.
It fits in kind of with the neighborhood. That's the construction, yes. That's right. Okay. Are there any other questions? Yeah.
So his plantation is in that mountain. So, it's just been purchased by the Bentley family. Okay. No. A lot.
Thank you so much.